One quality separates geniuses from average people. Not intelligence. Not connections. Not even hard work. And you can access it right now, completely free. Yet every single day, people are sprinting away from it. Look around. Everyone's stuffing their ears with podcasts, drowning in social media, filling every quiet moment with noise. You want to know what they're all escaping? Silence. Solitude. And ironically, that exact thing they're running from. It's the single greatest weapon every legendary mind in history quietly used against the world. Here's the uncomfortable reality nobody talks about. Research shows the average person today cannot sit alone with their own thoughts for longer than 6 minutes before grabbing their phone. 6 minutes. Meanwhile, Arthur Schopenhauer, a 19th-century German philosopher, spent entire years in deliberate solitude, and emerged as one of the most powerful thinkers humanity has ever produced. That's not a coincidence. Schopenhauer wasn't born a hermit. He came into this world in 1788 with wealth, privilege, and a father who pushed him toward business, travel, and socializing. Classic advice. He tried it. Attended gatherings, built relationships, attempted to belong. And he was completely, utterly miserable. So he made a decision that would permanently alter the course of philosophy. He chose solitude. Not depression. Not isolation. Deliberate, intentional, purposeful solitude. That's when everything changed. What he discovered, modern neuroscience is only now beginning to confirm. Strip away external noise, social pressure, the constant performance for others, and your brain shifts into an entirely different gear. He wrote it clearly, in solitude, the small-minded person feels all his smallness. The great spirit feels all his greatness. When did you last feel your actual greatness? Not the version you perform online. Not the personality you wear to work. Your real, unfiltered self. Most people never experience that, because they never stop performing. Schopenhauer also observed something fascinating about human relationships. He called it the porcupine dilemma. Cold winter. Porcupines huddle for warmth, get too close, stab each other with their quills, pull apart, get cold again, move closer again. Endless cycle. Sound familiar? That's exactly what most people do in relationships. Craving closeness but constantly hurting each other, constantly compromising themselves, reshaping their personality, their opinions, their dreams, just to avoid being alone. Schopenhauer simply stepped off the carousel entirely. And the further he stepped away, the more valuable his thinking became to the entire world. His book, The World as Will and Representation, is still studied in universities nearly 2 centuries later. Why? Because when you stop endlessly adjusting yourself for others, original thought finally has room to breathe. Science calls it the default mode network, the part of your brain that activates specifically when you're not engaged in external tasks or social interaction. This is the network responsible for creativity, self-reflection, deep problem-solving, and breakthrough insights. And it only switches on when you're alone and undistracted. Schopenhauer was unknowingly giving his brain perfect conditions to operate at full power every single day. Harvard researchers confirmed this further. 2 groups, same creative tasks. One group collaborated constantly. The other worked in complete solitude. The solitude group didn't just produce more creative solutions, they also reported stronger confidence in their ideas and deeper satisfaction with their output. One neuroscientist with 2 decades of brain research summarized it perfectly. When you're always chasing external validation, you never learn to trust your own mind. Think about the people who shaped the modern world. Bezos. Jobs. Einstein. Tesla. Their single shared trait. They made choices the crowd loudly disagreed with. They trusted their own judgment over popular opinion. How do you build that kind of self-trust? Schopenhauer lived the answer. The more time he spent alone, the less he needed anyone else's approval, because he had developed something far more powerful. Approval from himself. He identified 2 versions of every person. The social self, the one that adapts, performs, and shapeshifts for acceptance. And the authentic self, the raw, unfiltered version that only surfaces in genuine solitude. Most people die never having truly met their authentic self. They're too busy being whoever the room needs them to be. But Schopenhauer's authentic self, once unleashed, produced philosophy that influenced Nietzsche, Freud, and the entire foundation of modern psychology. And here's the paradox nobody expects. Solitude actually makes you more magnetic to others. Someone who is genuinely comfortable alone, who doesn't chase attention or leak desperation, that person becomes rare. Rare things attract people. Authenticity is magnetic precisely because it's scarce. The less you need others for validation, the more naturally they're drawn toward you. Now here's the part of Schopenhauer's story that most people skip. When he finally released his life's work, years of solitary, disciplined thinking poured onto pages, the world ignored him. Nobody bought the books. Critics dismissed him. He faced silence from the very world he'd spent years preparing to speak to. So what did he do? Did he panic? Did he water down his ideas to chase popularity? Did he start writing what audiences wanted to hear? No. He went back into solitude. He kept refining his authentic thinking. He kept trusting his own judgment over the crowd's reaction. And eventually, the world caught up. His work became timeless while others became forgotten trends. That is the ultimate gift of solitude. It doesn't make you popular. It makes you permanent. So here's the real question sitting in front of you right now. Are you building a life for applause, or for authenticity? Are your choices driven by what others will think, or by what you genuinely believe? Are you avoiding silence because you're afraid of what you'll find there? Because here's what Schopenhauer proved with his entire life: your greatest ideas aren't out there in the noise. They're already inside you, waiting quietly. Your phone will buzz. Your notifications will pile up. The world will keep pulling you back into the crowd, back into the performance, back into being just another face. But the greatest minds in history all shared one secret habit. They learned to feel completely at home with themselves. The question was never whether you can afford time in solitude. The question is, can you afford to keep avoiding it? Your authentic self is waiting. Your real potential is waiting. Your original ideas are waiting. All that's required is the courage to sit alone long enough to finally meet them. In a world overflowing with copies, only solitude can reveal the original. And the original is you. Note * Pelly 30 seconds main straight confusion / intrigue hook high Joe viewer ko rucken per majbur karta high. Akri 60 seconds main emotional build-up, direct challenge, or satisfying payoff high Joe rewatch or share karn key urge create karta high.